Everyone. I'm Kylie Hogan. I'm the Crisis Response Team Director for DC Safe. I work with all of our 24-hour staff and our high-risk staff. It is very, very much my pleasure tonight to present our COVID Heroes Award, recognizing we are in incredible times and doing incredible things, all of us. I am incredibly delighted to honor Trisha Monroe, supervising attorney and all of legal aid, and Ashley Carter, the Equal Justice Work Fellow, and the staff of DCVLP for stepping up to the plate and being our COVID heroes in this rough year. I'm so familiar with working with both of them out of our domestic violence intake centers, where I usually supervise once a week. And I'm sure they both know me from popping in their cubicle and saying, help. This year, as we really, moved into a space where we had to take all of our services remote, and take away such a vital piece of our programming of being there in person to help people navigate the civil justice system. We really saw the people who needed help go through the roof. And as we really transition to answering those phone calls and looking at what our staff can do, we paused and said, well, how do we keep making sure that survivors who are in crisis can navigate what can often be a really challenging system and continue to have access to the orders of protection that are often so critical for their safety. And so we kind of sent our little flag up and said, help. And we had such great partners with Trisha and Ashley and Legal Aid and DCVLP, and stepping in to say, absolutely, what do you need? And so we are working with them, one or the other of them, every day and saying, hey, this is who we have, this is what they need. And they have been just creative and persistent and flexible and above all communicative, which I never really valued the importance of great communication so much as I have right now. And they have just been there for us to step in. So I'm incredibly grateful and excited to name them our COVID heroes of 2020. And I'm going to start by handing it over to Ashley with DCVLP to be able to do remarks. So I think we have a video.
Thank you, Kylie. I'm going to go ahead and give my remarks live. So thank you so much for that. It's really an honor to be recognized here tonight, and I'm incredibly proud to work with DC Safe to change the lives of survivors really throughout the DC area. I think it's safe to say that our country and our whole world are experiencing a really profound crisis. And throughout the past 8 months, I think we've all sort of faced our own struggles with work and school schedules that are upended, and isolation from our friends and our families and our coworkers, and just the fear of this virus and what it's done to our lives. But for the clients that are served by DC Safe, by DCVLP, by Legal Aid, this crisis is just magnified. And at a time where we're all safest at home, our clients are not safe. And I know that every organization in DC that serves survivors, including DC Safe and DCVLP, have really stepped up to face this challenge head on and found new and innovative ways to serve our clients. And I really have no doubt that the work we're doing every day is saving lives. My work would not be possible without the support of my colleagues at DCVLP. I'd especially like to thank our domestic violence managing attorney, Aida Vendel, our legal director, Rebecca Simpson, and our executive director, Sarah Tenon. I'm just incredibly grateful every day for their expertise, their support, and their absolute dedication to serving our clients. And I'd also like to thank the other attorneys on DCVLP's legal team who work every day to find ways to say, yes, we can help, we can do this. And I'm just so inspired by every single one of you, so thank you. And finally, I'd like to thank DC Safe. The advocates, the managers, the leaders of this organization are just truly astounding. They face every day just this incredible trauma, these insufficient resources, this overwhelming need, and they are tireless and fierce advocates for survivors of domestic violence. I know that DCVLP could not serve our clients' needs without your help, and we're so honored to serve as your partners in this field. And I especially look forward to the work we're going to do together in the future. So thank you.
Good evening. I would like to express my gratitude to DC Safe for extending this award to me and recognizing me as a COVID-19 hero. I must say that I do not see myself as a hero, but if that title is bestowed upon me, I would like to share it with my colleagues. I am blessed to work with a team of skilled, dedicated, and compassionate lawyers and paralegals who are equally committed to helping survivors and their families get to safety, security, and ultimately a home free from violence. So I would like to take this opportunity to recognize my colleagues as fellow COVID-19 heroes. This global pandemic has greatly impacted us all, but it's been especially difficult for domestic violence survivors and those living in poverty in the District of Columbia. During these turbulent, uncertain times, those living in poverty have to worry about a number of issues. I have clients who have lost jobs or been placed on temporary leave because of the pandemic, without a clear return to work date. It is exceedingly difficult for some of my clients to juggle both work and online learning for their children because they have no support system to help them. And in spite of the district's moratorium on evictions, many clients are worried about paying their rent and keeping their homes, especially in light of a job loss or temporary job closure. For domestic violence survivors, these concerns are further compounded by the dangerous reality of living in a home where they and their children are trapped and isolated with an abuser, or where an abuser was released from jail due to the pandemic and is now free to begin the abuse and harassment again. Where in the past, a survivor could go to one of the domestic violence intake centers in the district and get a temporary protection order, requiring that abusive spouse or partner to immediately vacate the home or stay away. Once the pandemic hit, restricting movement and shutting down vital services, it was not as clear if that same goal could be easily achieved. In mid-March, when the district issued its stay-at-home orders and the courthouse and the domestic violence intake centers closed to the public, many survivors did not know where to go to seek help and get protection. Thankfully, the Domestic Violence Division of the DC Superior Court had already developed an online process for filing prior to the pandemic, so they were able to quickly move all filings online. However, many survivors were not aware of this, so DC Safe played an important role in getting out that information and quickly switching to offer remote services to clients as well. Survivors now had the resources they needed. SAFE began helping survivors complete petitions online and continued their vital work of safety planning and lethality assessments. When SAFE asked us to help petitioners file petitions for protection with the court, I was more than happy to collaborate with them and offer legal aid services. As I mentioned earlier, my legal aid colleagues have been equally heroic in their commitment and dedication to helping survivors escape dangerous situations, especially during these perilous times. We were all more than happy to assist and ensure that people had access to legal advice and representation, as well as access to the courts, safety, and other services. Through this collaboration, we have been able to help numerous survivors and petitioners file for protection and gain some safety and peace of mind. As this pandemic rages on, our goal is to continue to be here for our clients and community and to be a support to them. Thank you again for this award. It is truly appreciated, and I am so grateful to continue this important work. Thank you and have a great night.